everyone, welcome back to another video here. So we have here another session of Dark Souls 3. Of course, here's Andre here. Couple things. I have progressed this guy's quest to get him here. I have also, I should have probably looked into this game a bit more, but I did not know that there was an NPC summon for Crystal Sage. So that would have helped on my first few playthroughs. But this is Irina.
Oh, did you wish
Eventually, we will learn her miracles. But
have a
there's Arena
pleasant
of
day?
Karim, and then there's another NPC called Eon or something like that. He's the one that can be summoned for Crystal Sage if you free the girl, Irina. But I already beat him. But he can also be summoned for Dragon Slayer. But I kind of want his armor. That's the main reason why. But one second. We need Cleansing Chapel. The plan for today is going to be getting to Cathedral Ward. Not Cathedral Ward. Oh, I did not mean to take a screenshot. But our goal here is to defeat Deacons of the Deep and the Abyss Watchers. And stay tuned for the end of the video where I will be doing area comparisons and lore for most NPCs and most bosses. The only one that I will not be covering is Deacons of the Deep. And that's because Deacons of the Deep is not... Oh, I forgot to do something, Andre. But that's because Deacons of the Deep's lore is more so, way more tied to Aldrich of the Deep over Abyss Watchers. There's four Lords of Cinder, right? You have Abyss Watchers, um, Yorm the Giant, Saint Aldrich of the Deep, and of course this is not counting this guy up here, there, and then there's the Lothric Princes. Now, for me personally, hold up, me first Estus Flask. Pretty big careful. I don't use skills on, but so in terms of lore, the Abyss Watchers are more tied to Dark Souls 1 than anything else really in this game. St. Aldrich of the Deep is tied to, like, a boss here. Lothric Princes are tied to a few bosses as well. But, the Abyss Watchers are probably the most disconnected from everything else from Dark Souls 3. Just because they're so connected to Dark Souls 1. Yorm the Giant is also tied to Siegward, and don't worry, we will be, doing some comparisons there. But yeah, so Deacons of the Deep will not be covered here. We just gotta run. Ow. Okay. Whoa! Okay. Okay, our flask is kind of shit, honestly. That's a mimic chest. We are not screwing around with it. Most mimic chests aren't useful for our purposes. So usually we want to go to the right there, but we actually, if I remember correctly, we actually want to go to the left. Are you kidding me? Yeah, because here, I believe, if I remember correctly, is another shortcut. This should be the bonfire. Yep. Is the long-fingered Kirk really gonna chase us down? We're gonna find him in here where it's a little bit more spacious. Oh, that's... Ow, my G! Alright, let's lead him up here. Okay, wow, he was so close to death. Alright. I see how it is. I see how it is. Okay. Alright. So, just had to grab a bone shard to burn it. Quick. But we're gonna go up here. We do have a couple of things to do here besides... Well, we do have... Yeah, a couple of things to do besides just, you know... Hello, sir. Okay. Hopefully I can remember this correctly. I'm definitely not remembering this correct. Should be a ladder or something. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, my child. But, we first off, we do have to progress Secrets Quest. Deep ring? I forgot, isn't that a magic-based ring? Yeah. So, by the way, just in case y'all do not know, ooh, the rings that say test are for recording purposes, most part. To go in one of these? Yes, this one. Um, yeah, I missed that. Yeah, that was the wrong place. That was the wrong place. Whew, sheesh. Okay, we got it. Okay. We do need to pull this bridge for a separate reason, though. Oh, okay. You know what? Y'all are fine. Y'all are fine. Torchic doesn't like these enemies. Which, you know, I'm personally fine with them. Bada bing. Bada boom. Rosaria was her name, okay. But this is Rosaria here. She's petting a weird flesh thing, but... not yet. We're not alone. Well, we're gonna leave this alone for now. Um, I believe there are some quest-related stuff with her, but that's not something I want to touch right now. But, you know, she's gonna be this Dark Souls 3's version of Guinevere. We don't have a version of it in Bloodborne, unfortunately. Our only femme fatale being the doll. This is gonna be a massive mistake. There's an enemy who's gonna drop down. Or not? But yeah, we need to open this up. So, now that we've opened this up, just being perfectly honest, this shortcut here is kind of useless in my opinion. Oh! But that's fine. There you are. Hello, Sigurd.
Anyone there? Anyone at all? Oh,
I am here for you, Sigurd.
I know that voice. Just how long has it been? It's me, Siegfried of Katerina. I'm loath to admit it, but I've been had. Someone's swiped my armor. Did you happen to see it anywhere? Oh,
Not yet, we haven't.
I see. Not to worry. Great planning begets great fortune. An old tenant of the Knights of Katerina. And I am a master planner, I do say. Ha 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 ha. Maybe I.
Okay, so we can't do that quite yet, but I believe we have to go back. But see, on this channel, we usually have one NPC here. Um, oh, this is going to be a little bit of a tricky. Hold up. Boop. Travel. We need to travel back to the Bedchamber. Here we have to go and talk to Patches. Because he took Sigurd's armor and tricked him. But yeah, on this channel we usually, at least I personally have usually a favorite NPC. Okay. In Dark Souls 3, it is of course Sigurd. In Dark Souls 1, it's Siegmeyer, of course. As y'all can see, big boys are my favorite. And then in Elden Ring, of course, it's Alexander. Great shot of Alexander. My favorite quest though is probably Ronnie's quest. Alright, so basically we had to buy the Tower Cell key. So Sigurd's quest, if you open the bridge, it doesn't make patches spawn anywhere. So you have to buy the tower key. Have no other option. Which sucks. But it's one of those it is what it is type of situations. So we have to get tricked by Patches here, make him a vendor. When he becomes a vendor, he'll actually spawn over here. But we do kind of need to grab some stuff from here anyway, so it's not a terrible thing to happen. I don't remember if the Master Key exists in Dark Souls 3. I think it does. I think there's a Master Key. Don't quote me on that. Also, we're gonna jump down here. So, get down that ladder. So up here is Pickle Pea. The same. Oh, what the frick happened there? But here's Pickle Pea. Same one from Dark Souls 3. Same from Dark Souls 1 and even Demon Souls. Demon Souls 1, I believe, is a different one. But yeah, you can drop items for her and she will pick them up and exchange them. You can get all of Knight Solaire's armor this way because he's not actually in the game, but at least he's not in this game. But yeah, we're gonna go through here. We're going to go up this little elevator. Oh, and to finish my statement from earlier, I have some favorite NPCs. As you can see, Patches just locked that well here, but for Elden Ring, it was Alexander. For Dark Souls 1, it was Siegmeyer. For Dark Souls 3, it's Siegward. Well, for Demon Souls, it was Andrea Vestora. I kind of enjoyed him as an NPC, but I kind of didn't really have a favorite one necessarily for that. Bloodborne is sort of the same way. I don't count Gehrman as a quote-unquote NPC because he does turn into a boss.
Be more careful. Some place. Oh. Have. Oh.
Alright, Patches, we'll... Yeah. So this is where things become a bit of a pain in the ass here. Because I would like to get that specifically. Ooh, we landed it! First try, let's go! We get Firekeeper robes there. Yeah, I thought we were gonna fail that one. Alright. Estus Ring. Yes, Estus Ring. I can't wear it yet without causing problems. Alright. Alright, now that we have escaped. So an interesting detail that I've kind of noticed here is in Dark Souls 3, when an NPC goes to Firelink, they just poof. But they still haven't figured out a way for NPCs to travel in like Elden Ring and, well, Bloodborne has an excuse because it's older. But they still haven't figured out a way for NPCs to do that in Elden Ring instead of you just having to reload it. I know some of them do transport themselves, but most of them don't. We'll forgive him for now. Because I don't care about his quest. These are the items that we are going to need. The armor. Katarina armor. So we're going to sell some weapons and armor so that we can start getting it. We're not going to be using anything other than katanas. That's just not how I roll. That's why I will keep it. We're not using any other shield other than Crash Shield. And we're not really going to be using any other armor. Except maybe Lothric. We'll see. We're not, obviously not going to be wearing the other armor purchase. The other armor is a little expensive right now, so we can actually fight deep first. I would recommend getting that armor before Abyss Watchers. That is my suggestion. Go before Abyss Watchers. Now we can actually do some progression. Finally. Okay, we are gonna have to be careful because we can actually get invaded. So, well, we probably will. Okay, my controller stopped working for whatever reason. Come on. There we are. Okay. Oh, okay. We're back. Okay, my controller's... I really hope that doesn't happen during a boss fight, because that'd be a pain in the ass. So yeah, down there is something, but are we gonna try to go for? Absolutely not. Okay, I don't know why it's lagging a little bit. Yeah, we had no souls to retrieve there. Pale tongue is used for the wolf. We have to go up here. We're coming down here to de-aggro him. Oh, we do have to be embered in order to use NPC summons, if I remember correctly, but we do need to summon Henri and Horus. Huh, I don't know who she is, but more importantly, we need to summon Henri and Horus. Here's Horus. We need to summon Henri. And you know what? If they let us, we will summon the other person. Just for the hell of it. Beacons of the Deep is a massive just... It's... Oh. There's her summon disappeared. It's basically Living Failures and Celestial Emissary, but worse. Yeah, we probably won't. We'll probably be fine. All right, let's go. Don't lock on here. We'll go and use some charcoal here. Oh wow, the paper does not last long at all. Okay. Oh, something bad's about to happen here. He's the actual one here. Okay, alright, chill. Come on. We have to kill him. Oh my god. There we are, got him. Whew. Okay. Whew. Alright. Again, not a fantastic fight, but also not absolutely atrocious either. It's one of those fights where it's like, the boss happened. Meh. And yes, after every single boss, we will be checking out what they unlock. This one, I believe, is a spell. And this is just so y'all can see, hello. This is just so y'all can see what bosses are going to be worth it. For when, but... Yeah, they unlock the Deep Soul thing, and they also unlock that short sword. Nothing else. Those are the two things they unlock. Some bosses will also unlock things with that merchant over there, the one that you give ashes to. But that's not necessarily our...
I'm well pleased to see you.
Oh yeah, we should probably...
We reached the Cathedral of the Deep, but Aldrich's coffin was empty. The man-eater must have left for his true home. The little doll in the empty coffin told me. Aldrich is said to hail from Irithyll in the Boreal Valley, an ancient fabled city. A pilgrim told me that the city lies beyond Farron Keep, and so becomes our destination.
Alright.
Aldrich's honest opinions.
So, yeah, there's that. Which, you know, we should have gotten the key item. Yeah, small doll. That's something you actually need in order to take on Abyss Watcher. So, Deacons of the Deep is not optional, it's required. Alright. And yes, technically speaking, we could... we're gonna use this. Technically speaking, we could just not do Sigurd's quest, but I like Sigurd too much. So of course we're gonna do our boy a solid. We are also gonna go over and level up. Here. Whoop.
Welcome, speak.
We'll give Firekeeper Soul to her. Oh.
I should much then.
It is a special dialogue for her.
Forgive me, May.
That also unlocks the it unlocks the ability to remove dark souls, but we actually don't want to. Equipment load, vitality. We'll level up. We'll level it up a little bit.
Farewell, Maiden.
This means we should be able to have another rank. You do want to be below, like, yeah. We want to be below. I believe it's 69%. Yeah. All right, but now we go to Sigurd. Give him his armor. All right. And then we gotta go over to Farron Keep. Light some bonfires, and we will have our first Lord of Cinder. Okay. I've actually been recording for quite a while, but obviously I'm gonna chop a lot of it down.
Maybe I... Oh, my armor!
Yes.
My deepest gratitude. I, Siegbert of Katarina, salute you. With my trusty suit of armor, I'll be out of here in a jiffy.
Yes, you will.
Till we meet again, comrade.
I love Sigurd. Sigurd is my favorite NPC. Sigurd is one of my favorites. We are going to kill ourselves purposely here. We're not going to stay embered. We just aren't going to be able to do that. Actually, you know, never. Actually, it's over here, isn't it? We won't be able to stay embered when we get over to the Abyss Woods area. So it's not like we're going to be able to just, you know. We are not ready for this man, but I don't really care. Oh, we got a visceral, damn. Damn. you kind of got it with the sauce. Holy shit! I have no... Oh yeah, that's right, we're infected. Well, you're gonna just die from the blood loss, I guess. Oh! I know where we are now. We'll be fine. I think we actually have enough to level up. Ironically enough. Titanite scales, if I remember correctly, are used to boost a weapon to the max, like plus 15.
Well, speak. Very well then taken. Let these souls
We're gonna need stamina desperately.
farewell, Ashen One.
Okay, but that ring is it bleed based or poison resistance? That is so good. Definitely glad that we picked that up, cause you know, poison swamp. I'm trying to figure out where exactly I want to go. Fair Keep, I think, for now is going to be our better option. In the previous episode... Okay, so in case y'all missed the previous episode, so... Basically, I went here to grab the Mortician's Ashes. I did not light any of the bonfires, though. So that's something we're going to do now. Once we get poisoned, we're poisoned. There's like... We're not going to bother doing much about it. But this area here, you know, we are going to be having some area comparisons, so... Kinda chart that we don't need. Woo! Oh, we're extinguishing the flame. I'm gonna let y'all see this cutscene once, and then I'm going to obviously skip the cutscene for the second and third one that we like, that we extinguish. Actually, I think we only need 3. Yeah, damn. I know where we gotta go. Oh. Alright, a pine resin. Sage's Call? I forget what that's actually used for. Our next one's gonna be here. I can't believe we just did a full loop. Yeah, Sage's Call isn't going to be particularly useful for us. We go this way. He tried to grab us, but you know... Okay. Just managing the stamina. Okay. It's just the same thing. Woo! Okay. Purple Moss Clump isn't useless for us right now. Now that I think about it, I don't think any, okay, yeah, we're not messing with that. I don't believe... Yeah, I don't believe any bosses in Dark Souls 3 actually deal poison. Huh! Well, have a poison swamp and no poison boss. Okay, being realistic here, Titanite shards aren't going to be useful for me currently, but they are going to actually save us. Oh my goodness, they are actually going to save us some souls when we get the washing pole. So we don't have to straight up buy most of the upgrade materials for the washing pole. That man followed us all the way over here. That's toxic, bro. Alright. Yeah, our last ones are right over here. What? Okay, I'm starting to get a little confused now. Because I think I remember where the last one's at. I do wish this area was a little bit more. Being honest, this area is quite confusing to traverse. Right there is a ladder up towards the Mortician's Ashes. But yeah, we gotta go over here. Again, the Titanite shard is not going to be useless for us right now, but it will later. Okay, buddy. We can die once we get this thing, but like not before that. Okay. Here we are. And it just makes our door open. Ooh, Homeward Bone, that's great. We're going up here just because. Crap. Oh yeah, we're just dead, so... Well, not from this attack, but... By the way, his helmet is reminiscent of Demon Souls. Because there was the old monk boss. We're not gonna bother healing. Hey, hello, death guys. You all suck at your job. I'm not dead. There we are. So if you see one of these horn guys that jumps around a lot, be prepared for them to grab you because that's all they know how to do. They have almost no other attacks besides just constant grabs. But this door's open now. And yes, we are going to use an NPC summon for Abyss Watchers. I don't know which one yet. I haven't really decided. I think there's two. I know one is pseudo guaranteed a little bit, but fuck, that one's gonna do its thing. That one wakes all the other ones up. And I didn't really feel like dealing with all of them. Okay, here we kind of had to play it a little bit more patiently. There are two Dark Knights, no, night things or whatever you call them. But yeah, they duke it out. Well, they're duking it out, though. We're gonna go over here, get this bonfire. This is also, this spot here where we are at right now is a pretty good, it's a situation where only use it really if you want to farm multiple things, like Pale Tongues, for example. I'll show you what's up. Now, be careful not to go outside of this door too fast, but we want to immediately go to the right here. We're going to let them do all the work. It is kind of random whether or not the those guys over there kill Dark Knights over here. But if you're too close, they will start turning towards you, and we don't want that. We want them to keep going. So we're going to let them duke it out over there. We're going to hope that they manage to kill the Dark Wraith Knights, at least one of them, because they are kind of hard to deal. They're not easy to deal with. Oh, we do want to kill this one. He's going to take care of the other one. Yeah, I think that's one of them dead, yeah. Which is fantastic. We can't necessarily handle both of those knights at the same time. We have to sort of pseudo cheese it. Okay, he didn't aggro. Okay, here's what we're gonna try doing. We're not really gonna use Red Pine Resin necessarily, unless we're having some more troubles, but we are going to do. We're going to firebomb this guy. Woo, he tried to grab us there, but we got him. Red Pine Resin. Ooh, Dark Sword. I do like their armor. Yeah, I think he's the only one that's available. Which is fine. He does the job. Oh wait, no, there is another one. Who are you? We'll use her. Cirrus. Hey, Cirrus looks like one of the Dancer of Boreal Valley a little bit. In terms of NPCs, I'm probably the least familiar with Dark Souls 3 NPCs. And yeah, it looks like we can only summon one, but I kind of like how what Cirrus is going on. Hey, Cirrus. Hey, girl. What you doing? Wait. Ah, you're using an ew. Disgusting. I was about to say, where the fuck is she going? Time for, in my opinion, one of the better bosses in Dark Souls 3. Honestly, one of the best. Hear that clanging? All right. Interesting. So you use a thrusting sword. Oh, that does not actually have so much damage. Okay, okay, buddy. He tried to grab us there. We can't handle both of them. Okay, okay. Lock off. Oh, I swear, if Cirrus already is dead... Okay, I'm also kind of fucked. I'm fucked, I'm fucked, I'm fucked, I'm fucked. I messed up. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Okay, yeah, I made a massive mistake there. Okay. There we are. Okay, holy shit. I only have one fucking heal, though. I had to be careful then. Stay methodical. Fuck, I should have gotten lightning papers, honestly. Alright, this is the best part of the fight. Oh, I didn't know that could get me. Okay. I'm out of heals. Backstab. Woo! Backstab. Backstab. Keep that distance. Backstab again. There's no way I can survive through this. Backstab again. Let's go. There's no way I survive. I live through all of this. Nah. Okay. Backstab again. Another backstab. Let's go. Yeah, backstab is going to be the best course of action here. I almost died. There! No! It's literally just one fucking hit. There we are. Thank you, Cirrus. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Abyss Watchers is taken care of. Woo! God damn. God damn. And again, we're gonna do some stuff here, but I believe it's so. First off, it doesn't like the ability to buy these two resins, and the Abyss Watcher armor can be bought as well. We are not going to do that, however. So yeah, we're gonna start focusing a little bit on equipment load as well. But I believe they're weapons. Yes, so you can either get the Greatsword or the Farron Greatsword. Well, it's an Ultra Greatsword, but it's basically when you two-hand it, you get a little bit of an extra weapon. And the Abyss Watcher swords are over here. With all their swords. So we're gonna smack that right there. This is where Yorm will go, and Aldrich goes over there. Aldrich's thing is kind of plain, honestly. So yeah, that's what those unlock. We're gonna level up quite a bit here, but in turn, we're gonna level up mostly in equipment load. AKA getting it up to 50. Mostly so that we can try and wear more. Oh, wait, this is actually lighter? It's worse in every single way, though, is a problem. Better. So, yeah, this is how we're going to roll here. At least until when we get Sigurd's armor, that's when we're going to focus a crap ton on it. Also, Potus' left eye isn't particularly great. It's only good if you can stay aggressive, but the problem with that is Dark Souls 3 doesn't exactly lend itself to aggressive playstyles. Unfortunately, however, this will be useful for, like, another boss named High Lord Wolnir, which will be next on the chopping block, but, you know, that isn't quite yet. We also don't have enough to buy, this woman's, Miracle's over here to turn into a Firekeeper. Again, though, you have another Firekeeper. No, it's not really that important. But, you know, we can get some spells that aren't really necessary. Make sure to not buy any dark spells from her, otherwise it'll be bad. Pretty damn bad. But on that note, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to pass you over now to Lormi to kind of explain the lore, and so y'all can see the area comparisons, because yes, Farron Keep is the same as Darkroot Force and all that stuff. Just a couple of quick reminders. Number one, again, keep in mind that these test rings here are going to be used for the area comparison specifically for without enemies, specifically this one. I will be chucking any items that I get off a cliff if I can, or just sticking them somewhere and just letting them despawn so that I never collect them. And as far as any souls that I collect, though, obviously I'm going to jump off and never collect those souls. So there was all of that, and just for y'all peace of mind, y'all can see all of my stats here. They'll be the exact same when y'all see me again in the next episode. Also, next episode is going to take a little bit as well, because we do have Unreal Restore stuff to take care of, and we also have, Sierra. So I am gonna do. I'm just gonna do real quick. And once we get to Pawn of Sullivan's, we're gonna do Pawn of Sullivan probably first instead of the Profane Capital. The Profane Capital needs to be its own individual video. It will be a little bit longer, but that's almost strictly due to the fact that it is such a massive area, and it's a trial and a half to get through. We have to do Sigurd's stuff there, and that's going to be kind of a little bit of a trial to get through. So order of operations here. Next up is Anna Sullivan, maybe. Again, that's a heavy maybe. Then, because we do have Old Demon Sage too, so we're not going to do Pana Sullivan. We'll save that boss fight for later on. So next episode, we are going to get to the Church of Yorshka. We are going to get to there. We're going to stop there because we do have an area, we have another area comparison. We have the Demon Ruins and Lost Isolet in the next episode, so it will be longer. The episode after that will be for Fane Capital. Episode after that will be Pana Sullivan and Aldrich and another air comparison for Anor Londo and Irithyll Boreal Valley. Then, we have Lothar Castle shenanigans. We'll get there when we get there, sort of situation. However, after, depending on how I'm kind of feeling, how we're feeling, I might do the first DLC after the whole Irithyll is done, because at that point we literally just have Lothar Castle. So yeah, on that note, I'm gonna pass you over to Ormy.
Hello everyone, it is I, your dear narrator. So, here we are with some area in the background. You're going to be seeing some area comparisons and everything too, because Oolacile, Darker Garden, and Ferris Peak are the same area. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the lore of the previous bosses and everything first, and then we're going to get into the little, you'll see the specifics and everything in the background. It might not be when I talk about it, but there you are. So, first and foremost, Boreal Valley. Anything Lothar Castle will remain for that specific, will be attached to Lothar Princess. Crystal Sage doesn't really necessarily have that much lore, except any mage that basically uses crystal magic is somewhat attached to Seath the Scaleless, because he's the one that really kind of created crystal magic. So, Crystal Sage, not terribly important. And again, Deacons of the Deep is extremely important to, Deacons of the Deep is more so important to St. Aldrich's of the Deep. It's not, it has almost nothing to do. So therefore, we're going to hold off on talking about them, and Henri for that matter, until Aldrich. Because that party is really heavily tied to Aldrich, Saint of the Deep. Now, Sigurd, once again, another Knight of Katarina. He, is there in Undead Settlement, and, he's kind of just, he's on a journey. Not being super specific until we get to the end of his journey, but, he's on his way to visit a particular someone, and we just happen to find him, and he's kind of debating, do I want to fight this old demon or or not. We decide to take him down ourselves, and he helps out. Then Patches tricked him into falling down a well and took his armor, and we end up getting his armor back to well. Now, anything DLC wise, again, we're going to cover at the end of that episode, that respective episode's DLC. By the way, in terms of how I plan on handling DLCs, you will be seeing way less of the areas and more of the bosses. Except, Ring City is very important. It's kind of super important lore-wise, so maybe that'll be an exception. But, it's kind of a we'll-see basis. Now, that's kind of it in terms of NPCs that I want to discuss in particular. Undead Settlement is just another city, just another little town. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Witches of Hemwick area. So, that's kind of what that area reminds me of. Now, onto Abyss Watchers, right? Before I get into particular areas, Abyss Watchers basically they were followers of Artorias. A little bit of context from Dark Souls 1. Artorias of the Abyss was a boss in the DLC. What everybody was told was that Artorias ended up fighting off the forces of the deep, of the dark, and in my opinion, okay, we'll get into my opinion a little bit later and some of my theories later, but factually, everybody was told that Artorias of the Abyss rescued rescued Sif and well, not necessarily Sif, but rescued. Everybody thought that Artorias rescued the princess of Ulasil, Dusk. Everybody thought he rescued her, but in all actuality, he didn't. He ended up succumbing to the abyss that he was fighting against, and we were the ones that saved Dusk. Even though Dusk doesn't really remember that we are the only one that really remembers are Sif, the wolf Sif, and also Elizabeth, the mushroom. But she promises, so she says that we can't ever tell anyone about your escapades. Now, also something to keep in mind is us, the Ashen one from Dark Souls 3 and the other one from Dark Souls 1 are not the same person. Not the same person. I know that's, for most people, that's pretty obvious, but in case it's not, you're not the same person. Now, the Abyss Watchers would end up taking the mantle, basically, from Artorias and actively fight against the Abyss. In my opinion, they were sort of successful. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging into High Lord Wolnir, but my theory is that they were semi-successful in driving Abyss to High Lord Wolnir, and however, High Lord Wolnir basically came over with the Abyss or whatever. Giant Skelly Boy. We'll get into him at a later time, but not this current time. But because I personally need to do more digging. But the Abyss Watchers, try to fight against the Abyss, as they would eventually become Lords of Cinder. However, at some point, they would eventually succumb to the darkness. Now, when we pull up on them, you hear that clanging, that clanging and clacking. That's them fighting against each other, because their drive is to fight against the Abyss, but they are the Abyss. They're fighting against themselves, thinking that they're fighting against what they are not. However, eventually they do find a new enemy, that being us. So then they attack us, and then we put them down once and for all. This happened some point in the distant past. All of these Lords of Cinders are from the past, for the most part. I mean, for the most part. Time is quite iffy in Dark Souls 3. Because there are characters alive that have direct connections to live NPCs that are not Hollow. Now, in my opinion, the Lothric Princes are the most recent Lords of Cinder that have kind of skipped out on their duties. They are from the past and from the present. In my opinion, I think Abyss Watchers are probably the oldest. In my opinion, outside of maybe Ludleth. Ludleth, the guy that helps us transpose, he might be the next oldest. I am not completely sure myself, though, so kind of take that with a grain of salt. Now, and I think Abyss Watchers are probably the oldest, and then after them is probably Yorm the Giant, or Aldrich, probably Aldrich being a little bit older than Yorm the Giant, then Lothric Princess. And the reason why all these lords are here is because the bonfire wants someone to light it, to rekindle it, so it's trying to use the last of its fuel to keep itself going. Which all started from Lord Gwyn. Back at Dark Souls 1. Now, in terms of area comparisons, the first area you saw was Ulasil, and you kind of saw that it's the same as Darker Garden. Ulasil was an ancient society, but now it's kind of like forest now, overgrown. And then you see the transition over to, it's the same as Darker Garden, as Farron Keep, the Mushroom Forest, where Elizabeth is at, same place, same Dusk's clothes and everything, it's the same area. Also something I want to, my personal thought is, eventually, it's kind of interesting, in my opinion, because I feel like the cycle from Ulasil to Darker Garden was a cycle of life in terms of trees and all that stuff kind of sprout out from the ancient city, and then you have death comes back again, kind of like it's kind of a cyclical thing, and again, you have those death and those little death lizards there that are basically in every single Souls game, including Bloodborne. In Bloodborne, they are super hidden, though. You want to come across them naturally. But, you know, in my opinion as well, my theory is that where High Lord Wolnir is at, which y'all haven't seen it, y'all will see in the next episode. In my opinion, that kind of also leads to where the actual Abyss is, where like Manus of the Abyss was at. So my current theory is, yeah, it's the same, or you know, something of the effect. In my opinion, Manus, Wolnir are connected somehow, but it's also possible. I highly doubt it, but it also could be possible where the four great kings of High Lord Wolnir are connected somehow too. But you know, that's a little bit iffy. That's something I have to look into personally. Y'all could also let me know in the comments below if I'm on the right track with that, or completely wrong, which I am probably completely wrong. Now the wolf, the Great Wolf of Farron, that's there is not Sif. In my opinion, I find it exceedingly unlikely that that is Sif. Exceedingly unlikely. However, I believe it's probably Vesta. Being perfectly honest, it's probably Vesta. I just don't think it's Sif due to the fact that the gravesite is not the same, and also we kill Sif ourselves. Vesta, we don't necessarily know what happens to them after the events of Dark Souls 1, so it's possible that their body mummified, or whatever. And the wolves look extremely strange in Dark Souls 1, like young wolves look extremely strange, so it kind of looks like a cat-ish, but it's probably a wolf, but Dark Souls 1 graphics. But, yeah, Vesta is probably that Great Wolf of Farron, probably carrying on the legend, basically, essentially. I don't know why I said it like that. Now, Elizabeth had been dead for quite a long time. Dusk likely died at some point as well, in the time of Dark Souls 1. But that's kind of it. You know, doing a quick roundup, you know, Oolacile, you know, is Darker Garden, but the ancient city. Then it progresses towards Farron Keep, where death took over and it ended up becoming a poison swamp. At some point in time, I'm assuming the mushrooms all died, likely fighting against the death, and the Abyss Watchers were tied to Artorias of the Abyss. That is the short of it, basically. Now, you know, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. If y'all have any questions about more specific stuff, there is some stuff that I can't get into. For example, Digging to the Deep, Honor of Astora. I can't get into a lot of that stuff quite yet. So you're going to have to stay tuned for that respective Lord of Cinders. Yeah, this is Lord of Cinder. And Sigurd is also tied to a particular Lord of Cinder, but we will get there when we get there. Next, in the next episode is going to be High Lord Wolnir, of course, and Pun of Sullivan. Maybe. It all. When I'm meaning by maybe is I'm meaning like, oh, that's sort of like if we have time. But it's definitely going to be High Lord Wolnir, Demon Ruins. Not Demon, old Demon Sage. However, again, you will have another area comparison there. You will have Demon Ruins and whatever that area is called underneath High Lord Wolnir. You'll have that, but also Lost Izalith and Demon Ruins, and some of it does kind of remind me of Ash Lake, so if, you know, I see enough there, then I'll show it, but if not, I ain't too worried about it. But we'll get into the lore of the demons, Lost Izalith, what happened to them in the next episode. On that note, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.